In 1803, America made a monumental purchase, acquiring the Louisiana Territory from France for $15 million. This deal, often hailed as one of the best in history, instantly doubled the size of the United States, extending its boundaries from the Gulf of Mexico to Canada and from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. As the French flag was replaced with the stars and stripes, Americans celebrated, while the French colonists in Louisiana watched with uncertainty, wondering what the future held for them. The French had been present in the Mississippi Basin since 1682, but the Louisiana Purchase marked the beginning of America's vast expansion westward. However, it left many French colonists in a precarious position. Having called Louisiana home for generations, they now had to decide whether to stay and adapt to life under American rule or seek new opportunities elsewhere. Louisiana was initially claimed by the French explorer Robert Cavelier de La Salle in 1682, who named the territory after King Louis XIV. The vast area stretched from the Great Lakes down to the Gulf of Mexico and from the Appalachian Mountains to the Rocky Mountains. Under French control, Louisiana developed its own distinct culture, deeply rooted in French traditions and language. French control of Louisiana was interrupted in 1762 when it was secretly ceded to Spain under the Treaty of Fontainebleau. The transfer was kept quiet to avoid British interference, and for the next 40 years, Louisiana was under Spanish governance. The French settlers, fiercely loyal to their homeland, were displeased with Spanish rule, but they managed to maintain their French language and customs despite the change in power. The strategic importance of New Orleans, with its crucial port for trade, made the region a coveted prize. Spain, facing its own challenges and losing interest in Louisiana, eventually returned the territory to France in 1800 under the Treaty of San Ildefonso. The French colonists were initially thrilled, hoping for a return to the familiar, but their joy was short-lived. Napoleon Bonaparte, dealing with rebellions and impending wars in Europe, saw little value in holding onto the distant American territories. When President Thomas Jefferson sent delegates to Paris to negotiate the purchase, Napoleon, eager for funds, agreed to sell the entire Louisiana Territory for $15 million. This massive acquisition not only fulfilled America's desire for New Orleans, but also opened up vast lands for westward expansion. For the French settlers in the Mississippi Valley, the sale meant they were now part of a rapidly growing United States, with no more protection or support from the French crown. Some chose to remain, seeing potential in the new opportunities that American expansion promised. Others, disillusioned, decided to move elsewhere in the United States or even back to France, although the latter was the least appealing option for many. Life in Louisiana had never been easy for the French colonists. Much of the land was difficult to cultivate, and the region had often been populated by convicts, deserters, and those with no better options. Relationships with the Native American tribes were crucial for survival, as the French depended on trade in furs and other goods. However, tensions were common, as seen in the 1729 Natchez Uprising, where local tribes retaliated violently against French settlers. Despite the challenges, many French colonists decided to stay in Louisiana, particularly in New Orleans, which was poised to become a major trading hub. The city offered opportunities in the burgeoning sugar and cotton industries, and its port was vital for the economy. Others moved north to Quebec or settled in the growing city of St. Louis, where French culture and trade continued to thrive. The French influence remained strong in the Mississippi Valley, even after the Louisiana Purchase. French settlers established communities along the upper Mississippi River, and many continued to engage in lucrative fur trading. Meanwhile, the Creole population, a diverse group with French, Spanish, Native American, and African heritage, became a significant part of Louisiana's culture, particularly in New Orleans. Today, the legacy of French colonization is still visible in modern America. States like Louisiana, Mississippi, and Missouri are dotted with towns, cities, and landmarks bearing French names. New Orleans, with its vibrant French Quarter and the famous Mardi Gras celebrations, continues to showcase the enduring spirit of France in American culture.